All right, welcome everybody. Good evening, good evening. This is Rick McCain, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, author, eBay designer, all kinds of things, picture hanger. I mean, she's everything.
Picture hanger.
You know, my baby, Brenda. How you doing, girl?
I'm good.
Looking nice over there in your little outfit, looking all stazzy with this little nice little earrings on, looking like she going to some kind of a fashion
event.
thing, you know, some fashion event.
This is an event.
It is an event, you know. And
This
I
is a Let's
appreciate
Stay
you.
Together talk
I
show.
appreciate you, you know.
Since I have to put on some decent clothes
Yes,
now.
I mean, since we changed it, you can't hide behind the desk anymore. So that's how it is. But hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Let's Stay Together talk show, hosted by only Rick McCain, Brenda McCain, and the Rockford Ghost, our producer Kenny, that keeps this show going on. We appreciate everything he does. Would you got something you want to say before we start the show? We got no guests. I think maybe we may not have any guests for the remainder of the year.
No, we got guests next week.
We're canceling him.
No, we not. Dr. Cornelius Rogers.
Doctor, you gone, man. I'm sorry.
He's going to be
gone.
on for next week. And in December, we are out. See you in the new year.
See, I didn't say that. I might do some things in December.
You, okay.
No, we'll do it. You'll work with me.
I'm trying to have a holiday.
You're a helpmate. We may do 1 or 2 Tuesdays and then maybe take 2 weeks off. Because in the new format, I got one people.
Hello, Mary Silla. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, what's up? Say hello to my boy E again. But hey, we might do some little different things. But hey, we don't have any guests today. We will have a guest next week. I did forget about that. And you know, when Brenda picks guests, you know, we just gotta go with her guests. You know, because she runs the show.
Right. People who watch this know I don't. Yeah. They know it's you.
Sure. Hey, let me tell you something. This is what love couples do. For those of you all saying, they sit there arguing all the time. You ain't never watched the show.
Yeah, you gotta watch the show.
Because we've been 30 years of marriage and we just have fun with each other every time we get on the show.
And
but
this is what married couples do.
The married couples should have fun with each other. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. But we'll talk a little bit about that, and we're talking about the pictures and stuff that we're gonna be doing. But hey, any of this prayer requests, special prayers, calling out to my boy Ebo, safe travels.
Yes, safe travels to Ebo Silla. He will be leaving. I don't know if we should be saying this.
Just say
but anyway,
he's
safe travels.
That's all. Traveling grace. Yeah.
Want to say congratulations again to my boy, Mr. Smitty Shelton Smith, on his Murdoch Men Award for Communications. Did a great, awesome job. The ceremony was nice. So we love and appreciate you with Let's Stay Together Talk. Prayers are going up for the world right now. Because next year might be a little different.
Yeah.
So let's stay grounded.
How to say it's a different world from where you come from?
It's really going to be a different world.
we're gonna be wondering what's gonna be happening soon, boy.
No,
I mean, I didn't already heard something about them messing up with Social Security and stuff like that. So,
they don't want us to. Okay, that's a whole nother
and
conversation.
I'm getting
Get me
close to
mad.
Social Security age, so that's something. But we got a couple of things we're gonna be talking about. This, we just have fun rambling about some things before we start the show off. Hey, so that's it. I don't have any prayer requests most of the times. Nobody ever contacts me for prayer. They always contact Brenda. I'm the preacher, but they contact her. Can you ask Rick to do this? I'm like, yeah, you can call Rick too. By the way, for those of you all that call Brenda, you can call me, by the way. I mean, it's okay that you call her. Everybody goes through Brenda, like she's the surrogate producer or something, but they all go through Brenda. You can call me as well for prayer requests. And so we are praying for the world. I don't want to talk about it right now because I'm still in mourning about the election, so we won't talk about that much. Hey, so as you're looking through your phone and doing things together here, what are we talking about today?
Right now, we are talking about spiritual nepotism.
Spiritual nepotism. I know people are probably like, what does spiritual nepotism mean? I'm going to move this down so I can see us here, and then I'm going to talk about spiritual nepotism. And so people are wondering, what do you mean spiritual nepotism? So let me see if I can break down, when I can get my thing to go back to the other side here, break down nepotism. And this is what it says about nepotism. Nepotism is the act of granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or friends. And it also says that nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence or favoring relatives, friends, associates, specifically in a given job. We promise in the end to corrupt nepotism. So it's basically saying that nepotism is basically where someone with power has the ability to provide influence and favor for those that they're related to. So how does that come into spiritual nepotism? Well, if you have accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you've just opened up the ability to have God's power, influence over your life and your circumstances. So that in essence becomes spiritual nepotism, because now you have somebody who has the power to change things, to move things, to direct things, to cause things to happen for your good. You have the ability, this God who can do exceedingly abundantly more than you can ask or think. You now, through spiritual nepotism, because you've accepted him as your Lord and Savior, he now has the power to do anything you desire if you follow the word of the Lord. Because in nepotism, the price of nepotism is that the person that has power, you still have to follow what they do. I mean, if you had a rich uncle who got you a job somewhere, and then you didn't do what that rich uncle wanted you to do, he can call that company and say, hey, I don't want them working anymore because they didn't listen to what I said. And he could take that job, they can take that job away from you. But here in Christ Jesus, when you accepted him as your Lord and Savior, now you have that spiritual nepotism. Well, God will do exceedingly abundantly more than you can ask or think. You don't have to worry about not receiving God's grace, but we do still have to follow God's words. So let me just put that out there. We have to follow God's words. For those who have never accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you can go from human nepotism to spiritual nepotism just by saying, I accept you as my Lord and Savior, and I will live my life according to your will. But baby, that's what we mean by about spiritual nepotism. You now have power and influence over your life that God now has. You've given your life to God so he can use his power and influence to take care of you and provide the things that you want. So if you're looking for that job, you've got God on your side. If you're looking for that house, you got God on your side. You're looking for that car, you got God on your side. If you're looking for a spouse, you got God on your side. Whatever you're looking for, you've got God now, because you now have received spiritual nepotism.
That is so awesome because the word nepotism always have like a bitter sting to it or taste, especially in corporate world when you know someone wasn't qualified, but they was a nep baby. They have that relationship with someone to get them in, paying more money than you, and you're more educated. And like you said, that rich uncle will pull back. You wasn't doing what I said. I was trying to help you out, and he pulled a plug on your position wherever you at. But just knowing the best nepotism ever is being a child of God. Truly a child of God that he will open those doors up that other people can't open. And the doors is closed. Well, the doors is closed. He will open them up. But with spiritual nepotism, you have everything right there for you. The blueprint of happiness, of course, is in the Word, it's in the Bible and everything. And God is the Father. If someone ever was to say, oh, there was a nep baby by the Father of God, oh my God. That is just so cool just to let it flow off my tongue that I'm not saying everything you want to ask for, you will get it immediately. But everything you ask God for, He will guide you, and knowing that He got your best interest at heart to get you to that level where you need to be, and you don't have to worry about, oh, if I didn't do something right, or if I didn't look the right way, or He could pull this back. But mind you, if God does decide to pull something back from you, He still have your best interest at heart.
Yeah, I mean, and it typically means that it's even He's doing it for your good, or that you've been disobedient. But you're absolutely right about the word nepotism, because the world looks at nepotism as negative, because it says nepotism is an unfair use of power in order to get jobs or other benefits for a family. But we look at this and turn it around to say the spiritual nepotism, some people will still think that's unfair. I mean, let's be honest. That those who don't accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, and they hear you, well, because of God, I got, yeah, right. They're going to say, well, why would she get that from? You have Christians who would think that because you're getting a blessing and they're not, that you've got some unfavorable spiritual nepotism. Let's just be honest. This is Christian real. How did Brenda get that car? How did Brenda get that job? I'm a Christian too. I'm this and that, and people will look at it unfair. And you're right about that. It's not. People will look at it as favoritism, bias, preferential treatment, and you know what? It is favoritism. It is bias. It is preferential treatment, because God has equipped it spiritual nepotism just for you. Like Brenda said, what God has for me, it is for me. These are the things that God has for that individual. So when you get into a period where you thinking, well, why is she getting it? I'm just as much as Christian, but that's God has something for you. That what He has for Brenda, it don't matter. Let me just say this. It doesn't matter because you're looking for the same thing. I'm looking for a good man too. Brenda's still looking for a good man. No. I'm looking for a good man too. Why did she get one? Well, then be joyous that she got one. Because what spiritual nepotism is, it's peripheral treatment for that individual at that time for them. God has preferential treatment for you as well. But you have to be joyous about somebody else being in the family that can receive spiritual nepotism, and God will bless you as well. But I want to go back on the unfair use of power. Here is something that you don't have to worry about with spiritual nepotism, because God is not going to do anything unfair with His power. He's going to do what's right for you. Okay? So let me just throw this in to the guy that just tweaked in my ear. Spiritual nepotism is not for you to sit there and ask God to do something against someone else. Because unfair nepotism is saying, I don't want this person to get the job. I want this person to get the job. And so one person says, well, that's unfair. I'm qualified just like that. That person is. Why would they get the position and I wouldn't? Spiritual nepotism doesn't have to be a relative. It could be friends. It could be coworkers. It could be any person that's positioned in power, or nepotism, I should say. Nepotism doesn't have to be that way. Spiritual nepotism does not look at things the way the world does. It's not going to do something unfavorable. So Brenda's not going to get a blessing that I wanted, and I look at it unfavorable. That's not how spiritual nepotism works. God is going to do the same for you that you want that He did for her. And you may be looking for the same things, but you have to have the patience to do that. I love when Psalms says, and it's the first verse, it just says Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. When you have spiritual nepotism, you should never want something that someone else has.
Yeah, but you know what? And everything you're saying is true. But we
I hope
do
so.
know people like to covet other people's
Yeah.
possessions and things, and they have a jealous heart. And it's like, well, why is it that she got promoted and I didn't? Why is it that, let's flip this around a little bit. Why is it that the boss niece who just graduated from high school come in working the same position that I'm working, and she getting paid $80,000 and I'm getting paid $60,000? Nepotism that way. But then when you have the spiritual nepotism, God sits high and look low, and He sees all of this. It's not your time for that. Believe me, revenge is not yours, it's His. So when that time comes, you're going to supersede that person that just stepped in. Now, I've been, and I'm sure you've seen it in the corporate world, that people come out the woodwork, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. Betty Shabazz
So
coming
don't
out.
hate to say something you're going to say.
I'm just going to be honest and say it. They're not of our color, because it's like, if you're not the right complexion for the connection, we work 10 times as hard and get 10 times less than someone that graduated right out of high school and made $20,000 more than you. But it's so easy. It's hard, but it's easy to say, I'm not going to worry about that. God is in control. He's going to take the steering wheel. Yes, He will. But you have to sit back and wait for it. Because spiritual nepotism relies to me on your faith and trust in God that He's going to work all things out.
So let me say this. Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I said, you should not want someone else's blessings. Because that's not, the Lord, God said, I'm your shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, you shall not want. And so when you go through coveting, you are wanting, you are desiring something that God has not positioned for you, has not paved the way for you. Because I like verse 3, it says, I'm skipping 2, but it says, He restoreth my soul. He will provide for you what has been lost or how you feel grieving. And He says also, He leadeth me down the path of righteousness for my name's sake. He's going to lead you in the right direction. So spiritual nepotism says, I'm favoring you. I'm giving you peripheral treatment because now you're in my family, but I don't want you to sit there and start wanting something that I provided for someone else, because that shows the lack of faith in the person who has the power. And if you trust the person who has the power, then you don't worry about what he gives to someone else. You only wait for what God has for you. And what Satan wants us to do is he wants me to say, why does Brenda have and I don't? But what God wants you to say, hey, I'm so excited about what Brenda has received because I know what God is going to do for me. And that allows you to have faith and understand that your shepherd, your God, will provide for you. So you don't have to want for anything. So we have to get in the position where we understand that spiritual nepotism is good if we don't decide we want to have earthly nepotism.
Yeah.
And we want to have peripheral treatment. I don't care about what Brenda get. What am I getting? And so we have to understand that those two things are totally different with spiritual nepotism and earthly nepotism.
Yeah, and you could, it is something to really look at, because if you're not grounded and rooted in the word, Satan will have his way with you because you always looking to cover what someone else says or what they have or what they wearing, they finances. Why they always get to go on a trip? Why they always have a new car? You can't do that. And I know it's prevalent and in your face all the time with certain stuff. But believe me, when they say get to know God for yourself, especially Satan will present it so well to you. You know that person ain't right. They didn't earn or deserve that promotion. They not saved, but they wearing the dopest clothes. They got the nice car, have all the money, and you're sitting there saying, I'm doing everything right. God, do you see me down here? I know you see me down here. When I'm going to get blessed. That's exactly what Satan wants to do. He wants to just distract you from your attention to you being with the Lord and manifesting your dreams onto Rick. Rick got this. He got that fly wife. Why don't I have a... I'm only teasing. Why don't he have that fly wife? But you know, that's what he does. And for you have to stay prayerful. You have to have your faith. You have to believe that my time will come. And stop worrying about what Rick or Brenda have or what Mary Shelton have. I'm just throwing the names out here. Because when you do that, you're losing focus. And nepotism, the best nepotism in the world is the spiritual nepotism, because the other one is so tainted right now. I have to think about the man name that we don't like, but it is so tainted with nepotism of friends that he knew friends in high places to help him get to where he needed to be. Whereas some of the beautiful one, she worked her ground, her momentum in a less amount of time. I'm talking about Kamala Harris. And that she didn't make it there yet. But you know what? She went high and didn't go low. That nepotism with him, because his name was out there. You know, people knew of him. I was hating back then. This is an example that we don't know her.
Okay. So you're going a little bit off
No, I'm
course
just saying
here.
with the nepotism and stuff. He had the favor of different friends that came in. That's that worldly nepotism.
So let me just add this in here. With nepotism. Spiritual nepotism gives you peace. And so John 14:27 says, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. And then it says, let your heart not be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So spiritual nepotism gives you peace with power. Okay, earthly nepotism gives you a position with power, but this gives you peace with power. So the thing about it is that the peace God leaves with us, because we are as part of the spiritual nepotism family. He's saying, I give you peace, and the peace that I give to you is not the same peace of the world. Because the peace of the world can change within the moment. Situations could happen, and you could be having the greatest job, the greatest life, the greatest this, and then things can change dramatically by someone else having power that has over your life, that they're controlling things. But God is saying, I don't give you that kind of peace. I don't give you the peace that the world is giving you. Let not your heart be troubled, nor be afraid, because God's peace under spiritual nepotism is there to encourage you, to lift you up, to make you feel better, to bring you out of a depressed situation, to strengthen you, to guide you, to help you along the way. And so we have to understand that when we're talking about these two different types of nepotism, one on the world is usually viewed unfavorable by those who do not receive it. Now, of course, it is favorable for those who do, but it's favorable for those who don't receive it. Spiritual nepotism is looked at as a favorable thing because who it's coming from. So it all depends on who the nepotism is coming from that makes it even a disadvantage or an advantage, that people are saying, well, hey, because just let's be honest. Can we just be honest, Christian, really honest? You tell somebody that you got a blessing for God, more of the times they don't believe you.
They don't even be happy for you.
I mean, it's like,
They
and now if they're not a
It's
Christian,
some people.
if they're not a Christian, they're like, If they're a Christian, sometimes like, yeah, she just saying that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to understand spiritual nepotism that involves just you, because that's how they think it. And so you have to understand by faith your spiritual nepotism of preferential treatment that God is providing for you. There's going to be some people that's going to provide you something that's not considered peace, frustration. They're going to question, yeah, well, Rand, why, yeah, okay, I like you and all, but why you? I mean, what's so special for you that God decided to bless you with this new car? Why did God bless you with this new job? Why did you get the promotion? Because they're looking at it in the word of nepotism on the earth. And so you've got to be careful about where you get your peace from. Because it says, I give you peace, not the peace that the world gives. So I'm trying to say this real quickly. Be careful of who you share your information about, the spiritual nepotism blessings that you receive. Because there are going to be some people that's going to give you their piece of the world. Or should I say that they're going to give you their piece of their mind instead of God's peace that he gives to you. And so you have to be careful who you share that with, because somebody's going to try to steal your peace.
You know what? I got time before you wrap this up. Just
Yeah.
a quick thing. You really do have to be careful when you sharing your blessings. When you ask people to pray for you, be careful with that, because not everybody's praying for you. They could be praying against you. Because I always ask God, give me discernment on an individual. And I was just recently telling someone that when I'm the type that vibe off for someone's energy. So whatever energy you giving me, I'm going to give it back to you. But I do know how they say, know how to hold and fold it. When it comes to nepotism and stuff, I'm the type that want to speak my mind quick, but God let me sit back for a minute, because a person probably not saved and they don't understand the peace and the blessing that God bestows upon each and every one of us. Because even with nepotism, it's not always, hey, God bless me with the car, the house, the job. Peace is the biggest blessing of all, because you can have all of those accolades in the world, but if you don't have no peace with it, it's like putting money in an open bag or sand going out the window or something. Because nepotism, spiritual nepotism, comes with a different level of understanding. If you don't understand it as a non-Christian, you will never get it. You'll always be questioning, trying to covet something. And even as some, I can't say seasoned Christian, but babe Christians, until you get to that point, you're not going to understand what it is, because your eyes are going to always be looking at the carnal. Why did they get it? The carnal-minded people. Why did they get this position? Why didn't I get it? You can't do that. You really do, like I said, study the word and get to know God.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is that spiritual nepotism removes fear. When you have the worldly nepotism, you always have to be concerned about pleasing the person who gave you the benefit. Most of the times it's like, well, you got this because of them, and you can lose it because of them. But God in spiritual nepotism, I'm going to read you Isaiah 41:10 says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will withhold you up with my right hand. I like this part where they have for the New Living Version. It says, be not afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up in my victorious right hand. We understand that we receive these things because we're in a part of a different family, a family that has power, influence, and can change the course of your life. The only difference about spiritual nepotism and worldly nepotism is who the powers who's has the power's hand is in. And I'm saying that wrong. I'm saying who has the power is what I'm trying to say. Who is the individual that has the power? We're talking about God, our Lord and Savior, and not just a mere man. Yeah. When you put it in God's hand, then you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be discouraged. You're supposed to cast your cares upon the Lord and leave them there. You put it in man's hands, a man can easily change the direction of your life based on how they feel. God will never change the direction that he's going to do for you because it's always going to be good for your good. And so spiritual nepotism is a blessing. Earthly nepotism is a risk. And so we're going to leave it at that. And we've got some music we're going to play in. I believe I'm going to grab my piece of paper there, and I'm going to let you people, the people here on SOAR Radio, 2-time Stellar Award, best internet station of the year. We're going to be listening to CeCe Winans, and it's going to be, I believe, That's My King. It's going to be playing. So for those of you who are listening right now on SOAR Radio, you're going to hear some music commercials, and we'll be right back. For those of you who are here on us, Facebook or YouTube, stay with us because we got a couple of stories we're going to share. This is Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo, Brenda McCain, my fly girl. I was laughing because I'm like, who uses the word fly anymore? It's like a 70, that's okay. But who uses it other than Sheldon? But let's go. We're going to go right back and we'll listen up to this song commercial and we'll be right back. Nobody calls a girl, I got a fly girl.
I was joking.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just laughing at the word fly. I'm like, I haven't heard that since the 70s or maybe the 80s.
Living color.
Yeah.
It's 80s.
Living girl. I mean, fly. You okay? You my fly girl? Go ahead, fly girl.
You better recognize.
I guess you're gonna be fly guy and fly girl.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but hey, move over, Smitty. I'm coming.
All right.
Now this story tickles me because I'm Brenda Faye, the fly girl, and I'm gonna talk about.
We're not gonna call you the fly girl.
About that. I'm just teasing you, babe. Gosh,
okay.
Tammy Faye. Oh my God, Tammy. I was saying Brenda Faye and Tammy Faye. Musical to close after failing to find Broadway audience. Okay, now this play was well received in London. Has some heavy hitters writing the score of the play. Just, Elton John, it just didn't hit. It opened up, when did it open up? Just on November the 14th, and it's closing on the 8th. We're in theater, and we know that's just like a, 3-week run?
It opened up November, and it's closing on the 8th. That's like 3 days, isn't it?
It's closing on December.
Oh, December the 8th. Okay.
So 3 weeks is not a good run. You invested all this money in it. You had high hopes. How is it? Well, Elton John London, I could see you could be up this high in London, but New York, like, we not having it. We not buying this. The play had the lowest ratings. They said it didn't even fill up the stadium, the auditorium, wherever it was at. You didn't even get half of the people. Now that's really bad when you're, didn't sell enough tickets, and they thought it was going to be something big.
Yeah, I can understand why it's probably big in London because they're always fascinated about what happens over here, and we just as fascinated what happens over the pond, over there. But in the United States, this story's been told so many times. I mean, to me, it's no big deal. We've heard the story about her and her husband and what happened and how they had this big, mega church and had all this money and find up, stealing from people and embezzling money and him having an affair and blah blah blah. I mean, it's like you'd have been there, done that. It's really, I'm surprised that even Broadway decided they wanted to do this. It might have been because Elton John was behind it with the music that kind of helped it out. I think there would have been so much other better Broadway things that could have been there that would have been just as good. You know, East Hot Links would have been better than that to me. But I mean, I'm not surprised that the story is not doing that great here in Chicago. And they probably New York, well, New York, Chicago. I want to say the United States because it's not a story that's any. I mean, it had its moment, and that was it. It's not something that's everlasting. It had its moments, and then it's over. I wouldn't have never wanted to go see a Tammy Faye Broadway show. I wouldn't want to see Tammy Faye in a small theater.
They said the box office performance has been disastrous. It was last week that it was the lowest grossing show on Broadway and played to houses that were 37% in one of the Broadway's largest theaters. That is, oh my God, I know producers probably like, we didn't put up this money and we not about to make nothing back. So, hey, well,
I think the thing that throws me off is they saying is that Broadway, one of Broadway's largest theaters, because they got like a lower Broadway, you know, where you have, you know, other plays will go that's off Broadway, you know, and they try to grab hold of the Broadway name, but it's not really on Broadway like the larger theater. So I'm surprised that they had that in a large theater because it's, like I said, I mean, this is an old story. I mean, you know, theater does bring back a lot of old stories. You know, we just saw falsettos. You know, we seen that you're going to be seeing something that you've seen many times at Goodman Theater, the Christmas Story. You know, I mean, just you do have a lot of plays that just recycle. But this story was not. It was big for the time, and that was it.
You really think that?
I don't really think that, especially just a story about her. I mean, okay. I mean, to me, it's like you wasn't the main part of that story anyway. It was your husband. He was the preacher. You were the wife, but now they're going to try to make it out of like, okay, well, all these issues that she had, her life. I mean, you can see that in a Lifetime story. I mean, you don't need to see that.
Didn't see it on there night.
You know, I mean, that's more of a Lifetime story, not a Broadway story. All right. So, hey, we got about 15 minutes left to go for those of you on YouTube. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds now. And we're about to get ready to go back on Sword Radio. So, stay with us. All right, everybody, welcome back. Sword people, welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, Brenda McCain, my fly girl, I guess now. My fly girl. Cute name. That's my sweet potato. Hey, we're going to go on. We've had the music. Hope you enjoyed that music from CeCe Winans. I think today, if I'm not mistaken, I do have all the songs that are coming from CeCe Winans, so that's what you're going to hear for today. And speaking of things you want to hear, make sure you listen to the JD Morning Show each Wednesday between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. only on Sword Radio. You'll hear Justin, Kenny, and the gang talking about amazing topics just like we talk about here. And you don't want to miss that show. The JD Morning Show comes on each Wednesday between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. And I think Doug Wallbanks, am I saying that right? Doug Wallbanks is starting his show. I think it's like the 2 weeks is on Saturday. Kenny, is Saturday at what time? Saturday at 3 o'clock. He has a new show that's on Sword Radio. You remember Doug?
Congratulations, Doug. I actually see he have a twin out there. Saturday man looked just like him. Spoke to me and I was saying, oh my God, is your name Doug? And he said, no, it's Christopher. Looked just like him. Had the sweetest spirit like Doug too. So congratulations, Doug, on your show.
I love these stories you bring up.
Yeah.
Hey, so I mean, we're welcoming Doug on his new show that's coming in. And make sure you check out all the shows that come on Sword Radio. Just go to swordradio.org. I think it's .com. Swordradio.com. Is it .com, Kenny? Swordradio.com. And you can look there. You can listen to the music, and you can see all the shows and at what times they come on. So make sure you check that out. And, hey, make sure you get your tickets for the Sword Wars, 2025 Sword Wars that are coming here in Chicago. First time ever music the awards are coming here. The musical awards are coming here. It's gonna be amazing. It's at John Hanna's church.
Yeah, at the Oasis.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's the Oasis, and it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna have all these great stars like Jacqueline Carr. I don't know the other people. I had to have the list in front of me,
Right, I don't have
but you got
it.
so many people that's coming. So you can
And
go.
it is
to,
on a Monday night.
Yeah, it's on a Monday night. I think that's March the 4th. That's a Monday night. And you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Not Ticketmaster. You can get it at soarradio.com. I forgot what the other thing is. Eventbrite. Yeah, Eventbrite. No. Tickelocity.
Chicken who?
Tickelocity. That's a tickle of a tongue. You can go to Tickelocity. Make sure you say that word right. But just, go to soarradio.com and you can get all the information for what you want to. And you can go to Tickelocity if you know how to spell velocity. Tickelocity. That would be a little bit hard for me. You would hate for me to go, you be a spelling bee and say, spell Tickelocity. Huh? I'll just sit down, man. I'll just sit down. I'm out. So you'll just be out at that time. So, hey, we don't, like we said, we don't have any guests. We'll have a guest next week. Who's that guest we're going to have next week again?
Dr. Cornelius Rogers. And we're going to be talking about back pain.
Back pain. Is that what he's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's good because I got some back pain right now. Been on these floors, scrubbing the floors, fixing things and stuff like that. My back has let me know that I am an AARP member. I once was young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken.
Right.
My back is trying to forsake me. I'm just letting you know right
take
now.
some pain pills.
It's for little y'all that don't know,
you gotta get that core strong.
I got some Bengay on my back right now.
That's a nice aroma I'm smelling.
Yeah, it's called Benelocity, like Tickelocity.
Hey, if it works, we need it.
Because we need it because we're doing some stuff at the house and stuff like that. Speaking of house, we're gonna talk about the marriage thing. Why did I get married? And what is our topic for today, babe?
Marriage remodeling. Finding the right picture.
Finding the right picture. So I came up with this one because eventually me and Brenda are going to be working on putting up pictures. And Brenda's the design fashionique extraordinaire. I mean, she just, everything has to be just right. And then I'm just, I'm just the picture person, just puts things up.
Yes, you tell everybody.
Right,
that.
I'm like, and in some cases, for those of you who have never looked at the show, we're real honest with each other. It can be frustrating working with her because she changes her mind a lot and it takes a lot of work. And so I've tried my best to make sure that I can get everything possible to make this as less frustrating as can be. I've got a laser camera that'll laser put it on the board on the wall so it can show you exactly where the picture's going to be at. I bought this thing on Amazon that you can just put the pictures up against the wall and it'll put a little dent in the wall right where you want that picture to be hung. And all you got to do is put the little hole in there and put the picture in there and it's set up. I got little picture frame things you can hang on the back to make it easier. I've done everything in my power.
He's dreading this.
To make this as easy as possible so I can make sure that we find the right picture or the placement for the right picture. And so it made me think about, in marriage, do we look at the right picture in our marriage? Are we paying attention to the placement that we put our marriage? Because our marriage, in essence, is a picture for everyone else to look at.
Yeah, it is.
You don't realize it. You may not realize it now, but if there are people that are looking at your marriage and examining it and seeing what picture does it display. How are people looking at your marriage? Is it in a position where someone is saying, I want a marriage like that? Or have you placed your marriage in a position to where people are saying, well, if that's marriage, I don't want to get married.
Take that picture down.
Yeah, hey, I don't want to be bothered with that. And so it made me think about, babe, having the right picture and the placement of that picture. So when other people see they understand that God is in the picture. I mean, I want it to be where you'll see the whole picture, and someone will say, "Wow, is that God in the background?" Because they realize that this relationship is a picture of God's will for marriage.
God's will for marriage is a beautiful palette. Since we're talking about picture, it's a canvas that when you first get married, it's empty. And then you both are different palettes coming together with the colors of the different views that he have, that she have, and you collaborating and putting it together to make your own marriage masterpiece. But for the sake of making marriage work and marriage remodeling, as we was talking about it for a couple of weeks now, sometimes you do have to go through a remodeling of your marriage. Sometimes it's a breakthrough for couples down the line. Like Rick and I have celebrated 30 years. It's certain things that we know we work good together with, and certain things we know is challenging. And since we're using this analogy with remodeling, we're left and right, total polar opposite from what we like and our styles. And as I keep saying, you have to compromise to see, boom, put it out there. He's shaking his head like it's no compromise. It's been some compromise. Oh, you letting people know?
Yeah, I mean,
you dictating me?
No, it's not me. It's the compromise only comes when you finally stop puffing and huffing that you didn't get your way.
Really?
All right, fine.
Look, Adrian, hello, beauty. I'm going to talk about this beauty in a minute. She just joined us as well. But huffing and puffing,
yeah,
that be you, boo.
No, I don't.
Y'all, next Tuesday, before the holiday, I can't wait to tell you how this picture hanging went. Because I know I've been praying that he got everything, like you just said, set up for we could do this easy. It is really for him to do it easy and smooth. I just like when pictures are up, it have to say something, whatever room they in. It have to be straight.
It says, yeah.
No, it says, this is what I'm
she
talking
likes
about.
abstract.
Merry Thanksgiving, girl. Thanksgiving.
She likes abstract, and I'm not really a big abstract person. That's Mary Sela.
Yeah.
Mary Sela better be coming to the house. Sela.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I keep on thinking of Sealy.
I don't know.
Mary Sela.
Not,
it's just Mary.
Like Phila? Sela.
No, Mary's just family. So Mary.
Yeah, Mary family.
Mary better make sure she come over our house for Thanksgiving. I'm putting it out there, Mary. The invitation, come to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Better
here. Come over here.
Be here. Be with family. Have some fun. But let me go back to these pictures. Because, like I said, for those who've never looked at the show, we're real honest. That's one of the things about our relationship that people like, is that we're real. Marriage is not for punks, as my boy Shackleton says. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and this picture hanging stuff it is an issue because Brenda continuously changes her mind on things.
But I'm a woman. I could do that.
Okay, I don't like to use the excuse, but I'm a woman.
That's not.
That's just like saying a man. You'd had it fair, but I'm a man. I do these things. No, it's not because you're a woman. It's like I that drives
until
me,
I get it right.
And I'm the person that I can make. I make a decision and I work with that decision. Brenda will change something. Now, she does an excellent job when it finally gets there, but I don't want to be involved in the process. And I'm going to put this together. Sometimes you have to be willing to be a part of the process, even though it's not something that you enjoy, to make sure that your picture that you show in your marriage shows the example of God. Yeah. Which means that there are going to be some times that I'm not going to enjoy going to the store with her, taking back picture after picture after picture after picture.
That's what we could do.
I don't want to do that. But and it comes to my marriage, I have to be more acceptable to make sure that I'm involved in the process of how that picture looks. I can't just walk away and say, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm tired of this. I need to be involved, in the process. So that's why when I go get the the laser thing, I get this, I get that. It's helping me to be a part of the process. So I'm doing things that are helping me to be a part of the process of the picture that I show everyone else in the relationship. Because when they see me and Brenda, they see this wonderful, happy couple, but they don't get a chance to see in the background the frustrations that you might have in a marriage of getting the process together. So you have to be willing to go through, I'm going to say, the darkness to receive the light. There's going to be sometimes in your marriage where the picture isn't perfect. It's not where you want it to be. You're not agreeing on everything, but you have to be able to go through that process and say, "Hey, this is not what I want, but I'm okay with going through this process because I know in the end the picture that it shows is going to be better than what I see in myself. I want other people to see something better."
I want to say this. I want to be clear. We're far from perfect because there's no picture perfect marriage, none. But we strive to be perfect in God's eyes in our marriage so that we can be that example when we go out and walk out in the streets, in the theaters, church, different events, and people see us. And the one thing we always get, babe, is that we're so transparent.
Yeah.
That we're relatable, that people could be like, okay, they love each other because they play and they banter with each other. Like I might give him a slight roll of the eye and Rick be like, I spoiled her. Yep, I messed this up. I created this demon. Okay.
I wouldn't say demon.
Okay, he created this little spoiled brat. That's what you're going to say, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, in God's eyes, we're perfect because we're striving to be Christ-like as a couple and as an individual. Now, with some people in a marriage and stuff, which I know a lot of people, they post a lot. And when you see them, they ain't looking at each other, ain't talking to each other, not holding hands, not communicating out in public. And you're like, wait a minute, do y'all even like each other? You see that a lot.
Yeah.
But with us, it is what you see is what you get. We don't hold nothing back. We go tip for toe on the show, but our love is strong because our love is strong for God.
Yeah, and it's it's all about the presentation of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
When you bake a cake, you're putting a lot of ingredients in there, and flour doesn't look appetizing. Sugar is sweet, but it's you're not going to eat all that. You got to put in butter and maybe some oil. Some people might put a little mayonnaise in there to help with it. And you're putting all of this stuff together, and then you come up with this cake. But then you got to put some icing on it, and then that icing has to be, you want to make sure that it looks very nice and presentable. And you see these amazing cake decorators who can do some amazing things with baking cakes. It's all in the preparation and in what they have to do. Mm-hmm. And so you have to also be able to go through the preparation of your remodeling your marriage to make sure that your preparation is in order and that you agree with the preparation. Now, agreement, I said this before, doesn't mean that we have to 100% agree. Yeah, I agree. You agree. I might agree that I'm okay with it going your way. I'm okay with you doing this because when the pictures and stuff like that, I don't really care that much. I don't like abstract, but I don't care. What I do know is that when Brenda does put something together, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's almost like her Ife designs. It just looks absolutely gorgeous every time she does something on there. I know it's going to look nice. I don't like the process of the house. That's why I sometimes say, hey, take the car, go and do what you got to do. You're going to be a couple of hours out there, bring back one thing, but go ahead. Go ahead and do that. But I don't want to be a part of that. Not until we can agree that, okay, it'll be better for her to do this on her own than me being there, because then Brenda will feel that I'm rushing her. And I probably am, because I don't want to be out there 5 or 6 hours and I bring back one or two things. I just, I'm a person like bang, 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 bang. And Brenda's like bang, bang.
Really?
Bang. Oops. Bang, bang, Bang. I mean, and I just can't do that. I need, and I'm a mover. I'm ready to do. You know, and it just doesn't work. So agreement means that you agree that maybe sometimes in that process you allow someone else to do something that's going to benefit them because you know then the outcome both of it is going to benefit you both.
Yeah.
And that's the picture that you're presenting. You know, presenting this fake picture. Oh, we don't never have argue. We always get along. We just never had this problem. We don't. You know, I'm like, really?
I remember
You ain't
one
married.
time,
You ain't even in a relationship.
Right. One time in marriage ministry, someone said to me that, wait a minute, so y'all argue and that's supposed to be something that's helping us out? And I had to really break this down to this young lady because she was 4 years in. And I said, so to me, if you have a difference of opinion and you can't voice that, someone's controlling someone in the marriage. And she didn't see it that way. And it was a couple of years later she came back to me, and this is when we was, as you know, the church with the Superman that's on it.
Salem Baptist Church.
That was that
Salem.
church. When she came back to me and said my voice was silenced, and that went through me so much because I said she finally get it. You have to speak. It's not so much as that person's controlling, but if you don't speak, they're assuming you agreeing with everything with them. You gotta have that communication. That helps the foundation and the cracks in the picture. As the picture is getting faded out, you know, some older pictures you said, man, this used to be so vibrant. The picture now, especially if you're using a camera, I'm talking about that picture now. You done faded yourself out of the equation because you let this person be the voice to talk all the time. And if you're not saying, I'm not saying you have to argue, but what I am saying is stand your ground and say, hey, babe, I don't like that. Like Rick and I, we will go toe to toe. He know if I don't like something, no, babe, I'm not feeling that. And if he don't. But one thing I can say, he does give me a lot of leeway with stuff in this marriage. But when it came to the studio, if I'm being honest as we are, he wanted to change it to this setting that you see now. I wasn't for it. I was like, no, I don't want to change it. I just got accustomed to the other one. And he was like, whatever I want to do in here, you don't got no say so in it. And at first, I was going to get mad about it. But then I said, let me pick my battles because 95% of the time with the rest of the house, he let me have my way with it.
And let me just say something. And you bring that up. This shows how spoiled she is. I was going to say something. Do you know that I sat there.
It's like have a hot flash.
Can I just say this? And rearrange her entire studio that she has in here.
My office.
Her office. Mm-hmm. And rearrange it with the help of the Rockford Goat, by me add. Rearrange her entire office to upgrade it to the point where she has stuff in her office that is probably 10 times better than what I have. I got her leftovers. She got all of that. And I was picking that. She had no problems with that. But you want to have a problem with this office. I don't like it. And that's what I'm saying. Let me just put this last thing out there.
Pick your battles, ladies.
I just want to say this. When you're trying to, position your picture, don't sit there and feel that your way is the only way. What?
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
What?
Your sister-in-law says she agreed with you.
Oh, well, that's my favorite girl.
That's my sister,
yeah,
everyone.
You know
my
what?
blood folks.
What I love about Renee.
My sister.
Renee is just right. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And I thank you, Renee. I love you for that. See you soon. That's my girl.
Whatever.
Me and Renee are like on the same page so much about so many different things. It's just amazing. But I will sit there. This is when
I miss Steven.
Yeah, Steven will be on your side. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, because Brenda said this one time to we was downstairs, and we were getting stuff. We had these tables. She was upset that I gave the tables away. We could have kept these tables. I said I wasn't going to keep those tables. So we got some new tables, and it looks nice. She made a statement. I'm like, I don't want that shouldn't go there. Well, it was there before, And my thing is that when you are positioning your marriage or your picture, you can't look back on what something used to be.
Good point.
I don't care if it's good or bad. Now, you can still run with the good, but sometimes what was good for you may not have been good for the other person. And you have to be able to sit there and understand that I'm in a relationship. Okay? And because I'm in a relationship, I can't just look at how I want the picture to be. I've got to also understand that the person I'm with may have an opinion about how the picture should look. I might want everything blue, and I don't want any red. Oh, that reminds me of the Santa Claus on the Christmas tree. But
you gonna go back there? Oh my God, that's in the past, boo.
okay, but I'm just saying, I might want something that's all blue, and they want some red. I need to try to find some way to incorporate that into the idea. And what happens a lot of times when people are remodeling their relationship and they're trying to position the picture that other people will see to make sure that it looks right, we sometimes forget the individual that's in the picture because we're so focused about ourselves or how other people will see the picture.
I do want to say this because I love that we are verbally talking. That's what verbal means. We're talking about this. When it came to remodeling, as I said a few minutes ago, we are polar opposite. 30 years ago, I went bright and bold. I love bright colors. Rick took us on the dark side, and I'm so used to me, taking control of when we're doing the creative stuff in the house. I'm like, this darkness, this is just going to be too dark because some of the major things in this house are black. But
no, the only thing that's black is the kitchen. And we didn't go to the dark side. You took us to the dark side. With the colors that you actually wanted
black
a black
floors.
Wall.
Yeah,
before.
I
So
did. And you didn't want it. I said I wanted the accent wall. But it's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, make your point that's not true.
It used to be white, black, and gold. But now it's black. It's still the same colors, but it just got a different tone to it.
The kitchen
but
is darker.
I'm loving how I just can't wait to finish it just to see what all the creation's going to be. But I love the fact of what you just said. He allowed me to have, like I said, within 28, 30 years or whatever you put it in, fine. So that's what I'm saying, how your voice, and he does have his. When he took, stepped up in this thing of helping with the decorating and stuff, it just tickled me because I'm like, wait a minute, what is he doing? That's how spoiled I admit I was so used to taking. That's how spoiled I was taking control of this, where it's like, why do he have to have an input? One, he buying everything, that's why. But I love the fact that we're doing, it could be the smallest thing of what we're trying to create and do for the house together. So we're going to update you next week on how this picture hanging went, because I'm sure you got a comment I want to.
But I want to say this to you. You said he has an opinion because he's buying something. So that means if you were paying for it, I would have no decision. Did y'all hear that, America?
No, I didn't mean it.
I'm going to be like Bernie Mac. America.
Let me say it this way.
Because he's paying for it, he can have an opinion.
The person who is paying for stuff, majority of the stuff, should be able to have an opinion.
I should be able to have an opinion because I'm your husband.
Yes.
Can we clarify that for people, around here? America, let's stick right here.
I know it's just that glare.
I know, but just stick right there.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be nice. What's the opinion you got?
This comment came from your sister-in-law. Okay. I agree with Rick. You shop slow.
Oh yes.
Love you too, Rick.
Renee. No, I mean, oh my God.
Renee and him shop.
Ooh,
you just lingering, they out the store. It's like, oh my God.
I mean, we know what we want to get, and we go get it. I mean, I might decide to pick one, but I'm in there for a purpose. I'm a purpose-driven Christian. I'm like, boom, boom. Brenda will see something in a magazine that changes the colors, and all of a sudden, all the pictures got to go back. And I'm like, oh my God, no. We're not going to do this. It's almost like you want to put her in a solitary. You're never walking out of this room until you finish the whole entire thing with what you have. I mean, if she goes out to a store for one thing, oh, I saw this and I want to get this. I'm like, that's not what you're there for.
Juice and it
That
wasn't
ain't-
there before,
right,
so
yeah.
I'm like, boom.
It's not creative if you see something and all of a sudden it makes you creative. Creative is having an idea and creating it from that. She kind of changes sometimes, which drives me nuts. That's when I'm like, oh my God, stick with what you have.
I can't.
Stick with what you have. And that's like, you buy
But
something
one
and
thing
you never want to
can
go out the house
say-
anymore.
One thing you can say, once I get it the way I want it, it takes me a long time to want to change it.
It takes you a long time to actually get it going. But I will say
Yeah,
this.
but it will stay there for a long
I will say this.
time.
When she does put it together, it does come out looking very nice. But one of the things that I think Brenda doesn't realize is that the creative person in here is really me. Because I come up with the ideas of the creation.
And I implement them.
And she takes over. It's her. I mean, did you all hear that? She says, since you're paying for it, you should have an opinion. Isn't that a spoiled person? Because if she was paying for it, I wouldn't have a darn thing to say. That is not the kind of position of your picture that I'm talking about.
Yes, you do
so
not
you
want
can
your
tell
picture.
that she's spoiled to the core when she's thinking, and I have to literally fight for my positions. And that's something you don't want. We're joking about this and stuff like that. I mean, she's spoiled, and I do have to fight for my positions. But I'm just saying, you don't want to get into a situation where that fight becomes something that is going to destroy the marriage. You have to be able to be on one accord with each other. And as Brenda said earlier, learn how to, fight, pick your battles. You're not going to agree with everything, She's going to, sorry about that, there's a bottle fill. She's going to put all this stuff up there, and I'm still not going to like the way it looks. But I know together it's going to look nice. And so the stuff that she has against the wall, I'm going to look at all the time like, what the heck is this? But at least I know it's going to look nice. I wouldn't have chosen these things to put on there because that's not my forte, my taste. And so it's like, okay, fine. But you don't ever want to exclude your spouse or your partner in your relationship as though their opinion doesn't matter, or get upset when they have an opinion that's opposite of what you believe, because it hurts the relationship. The picture that you're trying to put forward has to be approved by God. We just went through an election. You saw all these little negative things out of, I approve this. Remember, as a Christian, the picture that you put forward has to be approved by God. If you are walking as a Christian and you're trying to be an example of a marriage, you have to be approved by God. And the only way you can get approved by God, we're going back to spiritual nepotism. I put all this stuff together. You have to be able to follow God's word and guidance for a relationship, which means you have to, God's told the wife to love her husband, submit unto her husband, to submit. And the Bible tells the man to love your wife as God loves the church. And that's unconditionally. And he gives that commandment to the man first. Love her unconditionally, and wives be submissive. I know that's a word that just makes a lot of women run away from spiritual nepotism because they don't want to be submissive. But you need to understand what the word submissive is. We talked about it before. We may have to talk about it again. But you have to understand that the relationship that you have is something that God has to approve. So we're talking about remodeling your marriage, finding the right picture. Remember that you're both in the picture, but the ultimate person that's showing is Christ.
Amen.
And if people are looking and they see Christ in your relationship, you'll have God's approval. Hey, we're going to go on, and we got some more music we're doing with CeCe Wine in here. And I think, and Kenny's going to tell me if I'm wrong, I think the next song is it Holy Forever? I put these things in there. I can't remember most of the time. So we're going to have Holy Forever from CeCe Wine. And listen up for those who are on Soar Radio. You're going to hear some more music and commercials. Stay with us. Please stay with us. Go get you something to drink and come back. And for those who are on Facebook, YouTube, we're going to have a couple of stories you're going to share. One of those stories you're going to share on the air, too, because I kind of like this one about the love songs. But, hey, listen up to this music. commercials, and we'll be right back.
I want to say this. Doug Walbank has joined us.
Oh,
Says,
Doug.
Good evening, blessings. Thank you for the shout out.
Oh, great.
The show is this Saturday where he will share his testimony, God's transformational power of love, and it starts at 3 p.m. on Soar Radio Into the Light.
All right.
So we will. I guess you could tune in.
Yeah. I'll tune in and see it because you'll be
doing a transformation myself that day.
You're just going to get your hair. You get your hair. I hate to say hair did because that just sounds so ebonic.
I'm getting my hair done.
Well, you're going to get your hair done.
Yeah.
I don't like that either.
I'm going to the beauty shop. Let's put it that way. Going to the beauty shop. Erica Williams, thank you for joining us, darling. Miss and love you too. Now, I think we last talked about Tammy Faye.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to talk about something that let's talk about the love songs.
I don't want you to do that one. I want that one to be on the air.
Oh, the love song?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about over 150,000 bottles of water recalled. I don't know why I never think of water being recalled due to bacteria contamination. And this is Berkeley Springs water purified or Berkeley Springs water distilled. Now, this is the FDA issue. The FDA issued a Class 3 recall for over 150,000. And the thing that gets me is that, wow, this bacteria called coliform, sometimes it's a good bacteria, and sometimes it's the bad one because this was found in humans and in waste and in animals.
Yeah.
And you're slurping. I got to get my 8 bottles in, my 4 bottles for 8 cups in. That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been an issue with bacteria being into water, and so that's always been an ongoing problem with that. You can get, E. coli and other kind of things in your water, and that's why a lot of people, I know for me, we haven't drank any water from the water fountain. I mean, what do they call those things? Faucets, thank you. Since almost 20 years, because one time the water came up a little brown. And I'm like, okay, I'm never drinking this water again. I'll take a little shower and nothing, but I'm not going to drink it. And then one time I actually went over to a store here, and I'm not going to name the store, and they had their own, generic bottled water. And I tasted an odor in the water. I'm like, oh, this doesn't taste right. And I took the water back to them. I'm like, this water doesn't, it tastes like it's got an odor in there. And then I bought some more, and it still seemed like it had an odor. So I don't know, an odor. So I didn't, I never bought that water anymore, and so you got to be, careful with the water that you have. And I like drinking water, so I am very, I don't want it to taste like lead. A lot of times we go to restaurants, I won't drink their water. I like some bottled water that has a lead taste because I'm so used to drinking water without that. But, bacteria in water has always been a major problem with making sure your water is fresh. They say the city of Chicago has the freshest water. I don't know because I don't drink the water from the city of Chicago. But, I mean, it's an issue. And I think this Berkeley, I don't know if that's something that's maybe just from California. Or I don't know if it's a worldwide, water that's, because I've never heard of it. But,
West Virginia. Berkeley water out of Berkeley Springs, West Virginia.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just people get the water from West Virginia, and that's the only place. I'm sure it goes to other different places. I have never heard of it in Chicago. But if you have some water from Barclays or something like that, you might want to return it, or are they saying return the water or anything like that?
Oh, okay. This is the warning that they did say. Even though the water bottles included in this recall may not directly cause harm, it's probably better to be safe than sorry and refrain from drinking them because of, it's different types of E. coli. So you gotta, if they're putting it out there, you would be crazy, to say, well, that's just them.
Yeah, but here's the thing that gets to me. They're saying their warning is, although it may not have any problems, you may not want to drink the water. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the greatest endorsement of drinking the water. You may not. It's almost like they're saying, hey, we're going to tell you that you may not drink it.
No, it's just
So
like
if you
the
drink
cigarette
it,
thing.
it's like if you drink it, that's on you because we said you may not need to.
That's like the warning on the box of cigarettes.
Yeah, but that's a direct warning that it can give you cancer. This is basically saying, hey, I'm telling you, you might not want. I'm not saying don't because I don't want to stop you from buying the water, but you may not want. I mean, it's not the most glaring a solid endorsement for what. I mean, it's kind of wishy washy. Should I buy the water? And anything you could tell me the serial number for that water that was leaving, where it came from. Don't buy the water from serial number blah 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 blah. I don't know if that's
And they
in
said
there.
the recall impacts the state of Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia.
West Virginia.
So if you live in those states, beware. They are giving you a soft warning.
Yeah, they're giving you a very soft, lukewarm warning. I don't want to jeopardize the company, but you might not want to drink it. I'm like, no. At that point, it's not a might not for me. I'm not drinking it.
Right.
You know.
So over 150,000 bottles of water has been recalled. Drink at
150,000
your
bottles
own risk.
on the wall. How many have E. coli? If you drink one of those bottles of Barclays, will you get E. coli bacteria? 149,000. I mean, that's a lot of bottles of water, by the way. 100. I mean, in the big scheme of things, I'm sure it was Barclay Water Company. Berkeley. I'm sure they make millions, and the thing about it is a lot of times you don't hear about some of these after effects until years later that this water caused this, and with class action lawsuits and all this, yeah. And they can say, well, we didn't know it that back then, but this water has such and such a, and if something has, some kind of like feces or something like in the water, I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you think there's a danger with the water, call that lot back, and that's what it's kind of. I don't really like about that. But hey, we got one other story we're going to share, but we're going to share that on the air because it's just love stories, and it gives us a little time to talk about a couple of things. And I think we could probably do that. It depends on you how you want to do it. You can do E-Phase design, blah blah, or whatever you want to do from that point. But I want to again say, make sure you watch the JD Morning Show from 6 to 8 a.m. tomorrow, only on Soar Radio. And if you want to have your own radio show, you can contact Soar Radio at soar at soarradio.com. That's soar at soarradio.com to talk to them about having your own radio show. You can be just like Doug, starting your own radio show here on Soar Radio. So contact them at soar at soarradio.com. This is the Christian Network. You're going to have the Soar Awards, the Soar Gospel Awards, 2025 Soar Gospel Awards coming to Chicago. 2025 is right around the corner. You blink your eye and it'll be January. You blink your eye again and you'll be in hell because there'll be a new president. But, I digress.
4 years.
I digress. We're going to be in sackcloth and ashes that day. I'm gonna be. It'd be interesting if the day that we got to look at that. If the day that he's being called into office is Tuesday when we have a radio show. I got to look at what do they usually do that.
I'm not sure when the inauguration is.
Yeah, we got to find out what the date the inauguration is. If it's on the same day of January 20th. If it's on the same day that we have our radio show, I think I'm going to have to get me and Brenda some old 25. Oh, 25. Okay, you getting like me. You said January what, Kenny? It's on a Monday. We'll have the next day. I think we'll be in sackcloth and ashes that day. I'm going to see if I can find that. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. For Soar Radio listeners, welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Hope you enjoyed that song from CeCe Winans. And that was Holy Forever. We're playing music from CeCe Winans today. You had That's My King, Holy Forever. And then we have some time you'll hear Come Jesus Come from CeCe Winans as well. Hey, we were talking about some things about some some bacteria in water. If you live in I think you said West Virginia. What was the areas again? West Virginia, Virginia
Maryland.
and Maryland. It's called Barkley drinking water. What's Barkley? What?
Barkley Springs drinking water.
Barkley Springs drinking water. It had 150,000 bottles recalled because of a bacteria scare. So if you live in that area and you're listening, or you know someone lives in that area, call them and say, "Hey, Ma, Grandma, you ain't
Don't
drinking
drink
it.
that water.
You ain't buying Barkley. Yeah, I buy Barkley's all the time."
And I'm not getting rid of it. You know how much money, how much water costs now? Oh,
He said,
Lord.
I'm not gonna get the mom has got you know, it's got bacteria in there. You're gonna die somehow, Mama. Don't you know how grandmamas and mom? Girl, I'm not gonna go buy no more water. You want to come here and buy some water? I mean, pray first, and then find a way to make sure that picture that you present to her is right, so you don't have to go through all this frustration.
Yes.
So that is amazing. Hey, we got one story we're going to share that we're going to share on the air, but I want to share here. And it's kind of a lighthearted story. It's about something about love. So, baby, what's that?
15 best love songs of all time. Let's talk about the majority of them. We could go through it, right?
You can go through some of them.
Okay. Now they said love songs have a magical way of capturing the most intimate emotions, making us relive unforgettable moments. And some of these songs, I love them.
So let me ask you this question: do they go from, like you said, 15?
Mm-hmm.
Do they go from 15 to 1? Which is
1 to 15. You want to go backwards?
I want to go backwards because I'm wondering if they're saying that number 1 is the top song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's go backwards and let's look at it.
Okay. Number 15, How Deep Is Your Love, the Bee Gees,
Yeah.
1977.
How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love?
I think that was,
How
what,
can
11?
Make you love me?
That was
'Cause
11.
I'm
Yeah.
living in a
That was a good one. And one of mine I fell in love with when I got married to you is I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Aerosmith, 1998.
I don't remember that one.
I wish I could sing. It's
I
in
wish
my
you could too.
head.
I don't remember that one.
I don't want, oh my God,
I
it
don't
was
wanna
off
miss
of a
thing.
movie.
Oh, I know it. And I don't want to miss
Yes,
a thing.
remember I used to cry out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is
Okay,
great.
yeah.
I love that song. Keep singing.
I can't remember the rest of the words.
Another good one I liked, Can't Help Falling in Love, Elvis Presley,
Oh,
1961. That was a good one.
Wise
This one wasn't on my
men say
list. It was,
only fools
that is a nice one.
walk away,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't help falling in
Sing,
love
baby, sing.
with you.
Okay, here go one I want to hear you sing. It wasn't one of my top favorites. Crazy in Love, Beyonce, 2003.
Don't know that
Oh,
one.
okay.
I know she's, you know.
I
can't
know
I
Stephen,
know
if he
Steven
was
would-
listening,
yeah,
he would have
would-
been singing
He might
it.
call in like, I know that song.
Right? Number 11, All of Me. I don't think I really had paid that any attention. John Legend, 2013.
Yeah, I remember the song.
Okay, number 10, Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel, 1977.
I love you just the way
Okay,
you
that was
are.
pretty.
Don't go changing.
Yeah, I got it now.
To try
yeah.
to please me. You're not gonna stop me from singing.
No?
You trying to, but go ahead.
Okay. Number 9, Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton, 1977.
I remember that, but it's not hitting in my mind right now.
Not hitting me
I
neither.
can't sing that one.
Okay, you gotta sing this
Okay.
one. Number 8, Let's Stay Together, Al Green, 1971.
Love.
That's you singing Love and Happiness.
I know.
Let's Stay Together.
Let's stay together.
Mhm.
Loving you weather.
That's
Times are good and bad and happy and
Ooh, I
sad.
wanna
She gonna sing
it.
with me like,
Oh Lord Jesus!
I don't want you singing with me.
Okay, well
You're
whatever.
not Tina
Number
Turner.
7, At Last, Etta James. That's another good one. 1960.
Alas, my love has come and gone. My lonely days are over.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that one. Number 6 just touched me whenever this was one of the movies we seen together. My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion, 1997. Woo, that song
Can't
just...
remember that one. Go ahead.
Dude, you gotta remember this. I want to hear it because
Okay.
I can't sing.
Okay.
That was such a beautiful one.
What's the next one?
Number 5, The Man Who Couldn't Help Tammy Faye. Your Song, Elton John, 1970.
What was the song?
It's called Your Song.
Your Song? Oh, I don't remember that
I don't
one.
know what that one is.
Yeah.
And then number 4, Our Wedding, Unchained Melody, The Righteous Brothers, 1965.
Okay.
That didn't move you like it moved me, I say. Okay. No,
They got some songs in here that's not the greatest love songs, I'm telling you, but go ahead.
Well, Unchained Melody is beautiful.
Yeah, but you got so much better songs in there. I'm
Number
sorry,
3.
they got too many white songs in there, but go ahead. I said it.
Boop, boop. Those are the words of Rick McCain.
Yeah, sure it is.
Number 3, Something. The Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of that one,
I don't know,
1969?
but it's not. That's they
Okay.
got too many
These
white songs
last 2, yes. Number 2, Endless Love. Diana Ross and Lionel Richie,
My
1981.
endless love.
It was, oh my God, just being a child here, and that was beautiful.
Heart.
And of course, drum roll, please. Number 1 is my all-time favorite.
What's that?
I Will Always Love You, Whitney
And
Houston. There we go.
will always love
Yes.
you,
Now I used to cry for
will
that one.
always love you. Can't do that
Can you
part.
do it? About to
That's
say.
a little bit too high for me.
At least you know
Will
when it's time.
always love you.
Oh, you got that one. Go on
My
there.
darling, you. Bittersweet memories. I'm gonna stop. Because I might start crying.
1992. That was my song.
Yeah.
But these are the songs that they said
Yeah.
are the top
I can't.
15
I mean, the top.
best love songs of all time.
You know the bad thing about it when you say that, you sing that song, you know Dolly Parton gets ticked off.
Dolly Parton still getting money
Because
off of
I'm
it,
just
so-
saying, because we're saying the best love song was sung by somebody else that didn't originally sing the song.
Yeah.
You know,
What?
it's nice when we steal from them. Just put it that way. And we being real
Don't-
here.
don't-
You know, they stole a lot of our songs.
That's true.
You know, so
It's just like,
and she stole the song. I mean, it was almost like Dolly who?
right, she didn't
sang
sing that.
I mean, but it's still big in country. I mean, when you go to country places, that's the one they play.
You be
You know,
like,
they play.
"Ooh."
We ain't playing no Whitney.
Don't be hating. But another one
We're not
was,
voting for Kamala. We ain't playing Whitney.
No, stop. Otis Redding. When I heard the original Respect, I was like, wow, he sung that first. And then it was, I guess, great when he sang it, but
Yeah.
when she just took it all the way out to the stratosphere. But what got me, she sang it, the lyrics was exactly the same. She didn't change it to make it a female thing going for the man,
Yeah.
because he sung it that way for him, and she still knocked it out the
Well,
ballpark.
you know, back in the day when black people were singing, African Americans, I want to say singing, so they you know sung a lot. People would sing one song, you know, like "Never Can Say Goodbye."
Oh my God!
That I mean,
that.
you probably got 100 versions of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Of, you know, black people singing different versions of that song because
Mm-hmm.
if it worked, you know, even Motown would do it. If it worked for this person, they would, you know, hey, how would they sing it? It'd be a different version of it. And if people like it, they would do that sometimes, you know. And so that was what we did with our music. We didn't steal it from nobody else, but we took
We just
our
pass it
music,
around
right.
within us.
You know, and we pass it around within us. It's like a community song or something like that. And so that was just, you know, what happened a lot of times. And some of them sound better. You like one song, I guess, by I forget what the song, but you like the way that it goes, and it's like it's totally different.
Not can't.
Yeah, Can't Get Next to
It's
You.
not can't.
It is.
Can't
It
Get-
is. Can't Get. I think you like Al's Green version.
Oh yes.
And I like the Temptations version.
And I don't. That
Oh, I can do the river and I say the grand. Oh, I can do anything.
You doing Al Green?
Yeah. I'd have this, all that power was invested in
It
me.
was like.
Oh,
Yes, I love his
I'm like, and it's slower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost like you're saying, Al, come on.
Mm-mm.
Catch him.
You feel that one, you just go,
I can feel the river.
The other one, the temptation, is like, can you slow this down a little bit?
I like that version of it. But yeah, that's there's a couple of things we got there. So hey, what we got for a couple other things? We might need to do some ad libbing here because we about to get a run out some time.
I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna just go into this relationship now and then talk about
relationship. You're going to relationship line now, okay? So
yeah,
this
was a quick one, but it's a interesting topic. Someone wrote in about, and it's from. This is interesting. I read an article the other day about a woman who had an affair, whose husband had an affair on her with a man. She told him that she would have forgiven him if it was a woman. She said she couldn't compete with a man. LSTT, is it me, or does it matter what sex, and this is the whole point of this, what sex the person is? It's unfair. She wasn't upset about that. It was just that she can't compete against what he went to. And that was so disturbingly interesting to me when I read that.
Yeah.
So this is
commenting on it now?
Yeah, that's the question.
No, I said, are you commenting?
No, you go ahead and comment. Okay. I said, and this is from Sincerely. This is interesting.
I will say this. You know, I mean, I'm not really into the same-sex relationships and stuff like that. So, but I will say that one, for her, I believe that she is hurt by the affair, but it's even more traumatic when she finds out that man is replacing her with another man, because it makes her feel like she wasn't woman enough, that he went out of the sex to find someone to be with. And I would just basically say, don't put that burden on yourself, how somebody wants to live their own life. So the person is, I think this is, what is the name of the person again? I don't know why I keep on getting his name. This is interesting. I think what it is that, you know, within herself, she is hurt by the affair, the relationship, but it's an extra blow when you find out, wow, it's with another man. You know, even in today's society where homosexuality and same-sex marriages are more common and acceptable, it's still something that's kind of jarring when you're a female and that man leaves you for another man. So there is layers to this that she would have been more comfortable with the affair that it was another woman. Still upset, but more comfortable. Right. But it's an extra blow when you see that. And so I understand, you know, how she feels about that. And so it's not necessarily that, you know, she's not, you know, hurt by it. It's just like a double whammy. It's like, wow, it makes me feel like I wasn't enough woman for him to keep him in the relationship. But it was his personal choice. How he wants to live his life doesn't affect the woman that you are. You're still 100% woman. You need to look at that, encourage yourself. This relationship just didn't work. Don't put it personally on you or personally on his decisions. Just that the relationship didn't work, and move on.
And see, this made me think when I was reading this. Most men' career, their jobs, their car define them. And then with some women, it goes with their clothes, their career might define them. But a lot of women might see that as a definite definement of them, that I'm not good enough to keep my husband. He chose, when he stepped out, to go to another man. So when she said, I can't compete with that, you should never feel as though you're in competition with anyone, especially a woman, because that's the thing. We was always taught that we have to compete with each other to get a man. That's the way we was raised, and this is how it is, and it's not right. It's totally wrong. But to feel as though, hey, I would have felt different. I in my heart believe that if it was a woman, you would still feel scorned and hurt. But you know, like if it's a woman, okay, at least I have a chance of competing and winning him back, or do I want to keep him, or what? With a man, it's like he just stepped out, went a whole different direction, and you can't really change that. You know, usually if it's a man step out and it's with a woman, he's still hooking up with her, probably still trying to win you over, hooking up with you. But if he went that way and he decided to make it what he wants to be, he's not coming back to you. So only thing I can say for that, this is interesting, is that the article you read, like Rick said, has a lot of more layers to that. And either you read the article and I'm reading your story, you never know. You just never know.
And can I say this? I mean, don't dismiss the fact that it can be something that can be mentally disturbing for you, and that you might need to seek some spiritual counseling, because it's hard to swallow a failed relationship. Number one, then you compound it with an affair, which means that person went outside, because relationships fail for other reasons other than the affair. Now you got the affair there, and then now you got it triple effect with now it's a man. And that can be kind of traumatic to deal with. So if you feel that you may need some kind of a counseling, please do that. Don't try to do this on your own, because a lot of times we will just sit there and say, I'm just going to let it pass by. And it can negatively affect how you go to another relationship, because you've got to heal the wound that you have. And you don't want to bring that into the next relationship you have with a man like, is he going to do the same thing? Is he going to do this? And you don't want to bring that trauma that past back into their relationship. So think about maybe going seeing someone to get some counseling to help you with that. In any relationship that you're in, even in how it, no matter how it ends, in this situation it ended with another man. But if you find out that you may need some assistance, there's great counseling out there, spiritual counseling that can help you to go through the process, and you're not going through it alone. And let me just say this: don't go to your girlfriend, because your girlfriend's going to say what you want them to hear, what they want you to hear, or what you want to hear from them. If you go to a counselor, they're going to give you what you need to hear, and they're going to be helping you through the process. Because I'm just paraphrasing. Girl, I wouldn't do this. I don't care. I wouldn't. Girl, I'm gonna lift you up. Girl, blah blah blah. You know you're going to hear that from your girlfriend, but there's some things in a counseling session that you need to hear. You're like, what? And so that's, make sure you take some time to think about going to some spiritual counseling.
Okay. Very good information. So sincerely, this is interesting. I hope you tuned in since you sent us this. And if you have a letter you want to share or something you want to throw across, Let's Stay Together Child, we will read it.
So yeah, throw it across. Fly and throw it across.
Email us.
You can email us at let's stay together talkshow at gmail.com. That's let's stay together talkshow at gmail.com. Okay. What you got?
Club 50. We got a good one coming up tomorrow. My girl did check in a little earlier with us. Her name is Adrian Ace Harris. I met this young lady at the eye doctor at American Best, and she was just so beautiful and forthcoming with assisting me with everything. And she had a story to tell. I think I mentioned that to you guys before. The young lady have lupus, and she is just like the spokesperson, the advocate for it, which I love. She did not let the lupus get her down. So it's a very nice, intricate interview, and it's going to come out tomorrow. If you had a chance, you could have met her via social media yesterday when I put her post out there. Today, her slideshow was out there for viewing. So, but the thing is with the lupus, there's so much I didn't know about lupus. I love learning things with my guests and how they are living everything. Her backstory is so great to me. Even though she's going with something, she don't look like or act like what she's been through. Beautiful young lady. So check that out tomorrow at theclub50.com. Beautiful story. Now, Ife Design. This is the holiday season. Been a little slow because we done went through certain things. A lot of people was getting over before Halloween. A lot of different parties and stuff I had to do. And now, Thanksgiving is next week. It's never too late to get something done, a poster, an invite for your Thanksgiving dinner, which I got to put mine together. And the holidays, of course, including with Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Never too late. Banners, invitations, anything you need, just let me know and we can make that for you. And just in time, you still got time to get something out, even if it's the last minute for Thanksgiving, but you could get ready for Christmas with your Christmas cards and posters, whatever you want. We could create that for you, for you could get ready for the season. You could email me, email me at designs@gmail.com, or if you have my number, call me or text me. If you're on Facebook, just message me or put it out there, and I'll hit you back on the DM. Is it direct messaging? On DM, I'll hit you back with it. So, but that's what I'm saying with that. You still got time to do what you need to do for the holiday. I would love to create something memorable and beautiful for you, like a beautiful Christmas card. So let me know. Next thing, because you guys know we are theater critics. Been doing this for 9 years, and we had a couple of good ones that we've seen. But I'm still lost. We didn't talk about Neil Diamond last week, did we?
I don't know, but you can look right there.
Oh, he don't like me looking at him.
You keep on looking up, though.
We did not talk about Neil Diamond last week,
did we? Did talk about Neil Diamond.
Did we?
Yeah, Neil Diamond.
We seen
at Cadillac.
after Tuesday.
No, Neil Diamond. No, we didn't see it. We haven't seen. It's been out 2 weeks. We didn't see Falsetto and another
Little
play.
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Yeah. So we saw We saw Neil Diamond, Little Mermaid, Falsettos.
Wasn't that last week when we seen that?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway.
We did talk about Neil Diamond's at Cadillac Theater. Excellent show.
Right.
You definitely want to go see it. If you're a Neil Diamond fan, you'll love it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about The Little Mermaid at Drury Lane Theater. I think we gave that, 4 stars?
4 stars, yeah.
Yeah, when I printed it, my stars didn't come out here. But we gave that 4 stars, and it was very good. It's playing until January the 12th, 2025.
Yeah, we love that lifting up the paper. Yeah, I mean, Little Mermaid was good. It's kid friendly. You definitely want to take your kids there. I guess sometimes there's kids in school and they're playing during the week because it's at 7:00. It might be a little bit late. But if you don't mind bringing your kids there, I think it's about 2 hours or something. So you might be there for like 3 hours. Get home a little bit late. The kids got to wake up the next day early. Treat them once in a while and let them stay up a little late to see some. It's an excellent production. Very fun and interesting. I mean the costumes and the
amazing.
Not the costumes, but the
scenic design.
With the animals that they have.
The puppeteer.
The puppeteering was just. It's not really puppeteering, but they're there with some puppets, but some of them look so amazing. It is. It's especially I think. I forget what they call them. The 2 little snails, electric eels. What was the electric eels' names? I can't remember their names, but it was very fun, and you'll really enjoy it if you take your kid out there to see it. And I'm sure they have a matinee shows on Saturday and Sunday that you can see it as well. But it was fun. So if you want to see something with your child during the holidays, I think it's out there to the 29th. It's out there to December 29th.
The Little Mermaid's playing to January the 12th.
January the 12th, okay. And so you definitely want to go see that for the holidays, The Little Mermaid.
The next one is Falsettos. It's at Court Theater, but it is through Timeline Theater. It's playing to December 8th. That seemed like it was a short run, very short run.
Move back and just move. There you go, because we can barely hear you.
Yeah, that seemed like that was a short run.
What?
That's Falsetto.
It's still there though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be there till December the 8th. It's not. Yeah. It's just 1 month.
I wasn't really crazy about Falsettos when I first saw it. I think I've seen that James Nederlander. It's a lot of singing, but this group here at Core Theater made it very interesting. We gave it 3 stars. I think other people are giving it 4 stars, but It's interesting. I did enjoy it. It's a lot of singing and things are going. There's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts in this thing, and I'm not really crazy about the setup and how it goes through its processes, because it's just too much movement to me. But that people seem to like it. I gave it 3 stars this time. I think the last time I gave it 2.5. 3 stars this time. It probably will never get 4 stars for me. Highly recommended. And though there's some people out there, the critics, they'll just put out highly recommended for everything. It's just I don't, it's we're trying to reach a certain clientele of people, and we're trying to get you to go out there and see these plays, and we want to be able to say something that's recommended for you. And Falsettos is, it talks about relationship with a man with a man, a man who, and stuff like that, and it's okay. If you, I would recommend it. Just go to Let's Play Theatrical Review.com and you can see our review on it.
And then if you did go check that out, you will see how detrimental your actions are towards what if you think feel good and it's good for you, how it would mess up your family life. So, go check it out if you will. And as we were saying, it's a lot of plays out there that's going to be repetitious this season. Yeah. But it's a lot of great plays that you want to see over and over again, like A Christmas Carol. Because, I want to see how the new person going to do.
You do want to see how the new person.
Because it's like, wow, are you really going to cover his role? But you know what? He's still busy. What's the play he in?
He's in Harry Potter's new play.
Right, and that's
going to be traveling for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's running through February as we know it, but that's gonna be traveling for a while.
And then the other one, at first when I seen it, I'm like, oh God, this again. Then I'm like, wait a minute, beautiful Carole King story. You can watch that over
one
and
of
over.
My favorite musicals is the Carole King story.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful.
The music is just amazing in there.
Mm-hmm.
All the music that she made, and her Tapestry album is a part of that as well. It's some good music. I enjoyed it a lot.
And where's that one going to be at next year? Is it going to be back on Broadway?
I think that's going to be. I don't know if it's at Paramount. I have to look back and see. There's a lot of theaters in Chicago. And you know what we try to do, for those of you that don't know, have never seen the show before, me and Brenda also are theater critics. We go under the name of Let's Play Theatrical Review. We go to plays all over Chicagoland area. We've been to Wisconsin's, Indiana, and New York. And I want to go out to New York again one time and go see some more plays coming soon. My goal is to get out to London. I want to go to London and see some plays as well. So I don't want to just go to London to see some plays, but I want to go to London and then I'll see a play. But London is one of the places that I definitely want to get to. So if anybody wants to get some free tickets out, let me know.
Wasn't that one of those stops, London, we were talking about today to go to Africa, was it?
Yeah, it was Brussels. Yeah. And so that's just a couple of things. But check out our webpage. It's Let's Play Theatrical Review. That's what happens. We have to be Let's Play Theatrical Review. He's got all our reviews out there, and we want more African Americans to come to theater, because there are a lot of African Americans that are in these plays that they're looking for someone like them to be there and support them. And so one of the reasons why we got involved in theater is because we wanted to highlight the excellent attributes of African Americans in Chicagoland theater. It still is not as seen as much as it should be, because a lot of these places, especially if you go to Broadway, a lot of these places have touring companies, and they're not pulling Chicago actors a lot of times. The Chicago actors have to leave a lot of times to come here, especially African American actors. And so we're trying to promote the excellence that they do, and we're still honest. We're not going to lie. If it's not a good play, it's not a good play.
Right.
But we do want to be able to support them and let them know that there is a group of people or two people out there that are really trying to highlight the wonderful attributes of African Americans in theater.
Mm-hmm.
So we got about 12 minutes. And because we have no guests, we pretty much ran through all the stuff we're going to talk about. Anything that you want to share real quick?
Let's talk about the holiday, Thanksgiving. Coming
Yeah, holidays coming up. Hopefully everybody is getting themselves prepared for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't stress over it. The holiday is coming. Is that next week? Yeah, it's gonna be next Thursday, right?
Yeah, that's what's the time go by so fast.
Yeah, you know, and get a chance, you know, nibble on some good food. I love Thanksgiving because it's one of the times that I don't really have to do anything but eat. Even though I'm not eating a lot lately, it is, you know, I don't really have to do. I mean, we're fixing up the house and stuff like that, but when it comes to that day, I don't really have to do a lot of work. You know, Brenda's putting this together, turkey doing that. You know, I might help a little bit, but most of the time it's not me doing anything, and I'm excited about that. But it's just, you know, a fun time being together with people, talking, enjoying, you know, get together with family, you know, friends you may have come over, and it's a wonderful time to enjoy each other. And, you know, some people will travel. They'll travel to different locations, and, you know, they get a chance to do that. Hey, you know, I just realized we got one more song we got to play. So I'm going to let you all on Soar Radio listen to this last song by CeCe Winans, which is called Come Jesus Come. So I'm going to play that, and then we'll come back to end the show. Hey, this is Rick McKay, along with my baby, my girl, my boo. Listen up to this song, and we'll be right back. So, I mean, for those of y'all still on YouTube and Facebook, yeah, hopefully you're going to have a good time. And so just, you know, maybe talk about some of your favorite holiday foods. What do you like? Of course, I love turkey. But what I like the most is turkey, stuffing with some gravy, and some macaroni and cheese. But you know what I like, and I'm saying maybe I'll order that from them, but it's so small. From that Passion Eats over here in out there in Cicero, I think it's like 84th and Cicero, something like that. They have some mashed potatoes that was just delicious, and I'm like, do I want to go buy some of that and just, you know, have it over here? I don't know how many people to feed, and, you know, and if I bought it, I would like to eat some of it, you know. But I mean, I do like the, you know, the turkey, the dressing. You give me some turkey, dressing, some gravy to go over that, and some mac and cheese, and I'm all right.
I'm for the ham, and because the ham for breakfast the next day,
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that.
The ham, the turkey, all of it really. But I do.
You can't say all of it because you got to have
Well,
the
the
favorites.
ham, the turkey, the sweet potatoes. My mom's greens. I love her greens with that.
Yeah.
And a sweet potato pie. I remember when your mom used to make the
Yeah.
sweet potato pie.
I'm gonna tell you something.
And say, this is Ricky's sweet potato.
Yeah, this one for me. I'm gonna tell you that some people that don't do a good job with sweet potato pie. I'm sorry to just tell you that some people don't do the greatest job with sweet potato pie. And you know another thing that people don't do really good with, and I really don't like this. Don't bring it to my house. The mac and cheese. I mean, if you don't know how to throw down on some mac and cheese, don't bring it.
Well, that's my assignment.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you do good with that, but I'm just
mac
saying.
And cheese and
You know, don't bring something over here. You know, if you bought it store bought, then you don't keep it at home.
Yeah,
And
there's
you
some
can't
people.
you can't do some real mac and cheese. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna mess up my Thanksgiving.
And
you know.
this is not the time to, unless you tried your new creation, don't make a new creation and test us out with it. Have
Yeah.
us as the test dummies and stuff.
And sweet potato. If you're gonna make some sweet potatoes, don't just pull the thing out the can and put some sugar on there.
No,
I mean, you know,
gotta
do
come
something with
that.
it. You know, help it out a little,
Mhm.
and please don't bring me no cornbread stuffing, and you ain't got no gravy. I mean, the only thing I don't care about if we don't have it or not, but this is for other people, that cranberry sauce.
Oh, I love that.
I
I
mean,
gotta
when-
have my cranberry sauce.
And it's amazing.
And my brother-in-law
Yeah,
makes
now,
a
he-
bad
I
cranberry
hear
sauce.
because most of the time people just pull it out of a can.
Yeah, I got that too. In
You
case he wasn't up to making it, but he did say he's gonna have it, and it's really, really good.
I don't like cranberry sauce, so I've never eaten
Yeah,
it.
well, we love it.
You know.
And of course, if you don't know how to bake, buy the cake.
Yeah.
You know, we
buy
just
the cake
saying
from a
that's
store.
all,
Like we
yeah.
got one coming from Brown Sugar here. Got a
Mhm.
chocolate cake that I had to have for my
Dr.
brother.
Little.
Dr. Little's bringing us a nice cake too. And we've got a couple of cakes, but don't go to Jewel's and buy one of those store bought cakes. They got more icing than cake. you know,
Yeah,
got a 3/4 icing, and you got some cake in there. And I'm like, I don't want to eat icing. I want to eat a cake with some icing on it. And so you go to those store bought things, and they be having those things that I'm like, I don't know who be making these cakes at these places, but I don't like store bought cakes. I'd rather have somebody just throw me together a Pillsbury cake with some chocolate. That's always one of the best things. Get you some yellow cake and throw some chocolate icing on them. Man, I'm in heaven. I can do that all the time.
Yeah.
Bring me a regular pound cake with some chocolate icing, and I'm okay. But don't bring me one of those store bought cakes. And I don't like different flavors. I don't want no vanilla. I don't want no lemon cake, even though my girl does a great lemon cake.
She ain't doing it right.
She ain't doing it. I mean, man, that lemon on that cake will make you think you eating lemon crack. I mean, it is good. She not doing anything for Thanksgiving. I'm going to see if I can catch her on Christmas. But whatever your favorite things for the holidays, let us know. It'd be interesting to know what that is. And, go to our thing and let us know what it is. Hey, we got to get back on the air real quick to end up the show. So stay with us. And okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, Brenda McCain here. Hope you enjoy the music we was playing from CeCe Winans. That last song you heard was Come Jesus Come. We were playing her music all day long or through our session. Here it was called That's My King was number one. Then you had Holy Forever. And then Come Jesus Come. We was playing the music from CeCe Winans. Hope you enjoyed that information. We hope you enjoyed the show. We got about 5 minutes left before the show is coming on. Make sure next week we're going to have a guest. Baby, tell them who that guest is going to be again.
Dr. Cornelius Rogers. And we're going to be talking about back pain.
Back pain.
And a lot of stuff you can do with that.
And
so, to heal it.
Yeah. And
Holistic
back pain is,
going.
Yeah. Back pain is not your husband and your wife. It's just back pain. Sometimes people get, she got pain in my back. We're talking about actual back pain, which me and Brenda have both been experienced through this renovation stuff. But
we was laughing and saying, we getting old. Because, used to could get down there off the floor and get back. I don't spring back.
And I was,
anymore.
doing some cleaning on the floor, and I had to do a little scrubbing on there. And I said, hey, once I'm on this floor, I ain't getting back up, because if I get back up, I'm not going to get back on this floor. But I got to do a little bit more scrubbing in one spot or something like that. You have a couch sitting for, several years. This, you have a little stains in it. It's a little bit more stubborn sometimes.
Yes.
But
we just getting old, but we grateful. What you're thankful and grateful for? Because I'm still here getting old.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thankful that God has allowed me to stay here, and I can be with my baby, my girl, my boo, the spoiled girl. What the heck are you doing? Are you taking a picture of yourself while we're on the show?
No, I'm trying to see this.
She's trying to see this on there. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Okay. How about finishing up the show?
Well, you got this.
Okay, so this is what I call some issues that you have with people in relationships. Stop trying to make the thing about you when you're doing your picture. So, hey, we're going to end up just a couple of seconds early and let some music play. We got about maybe 2.5 minutes. We'll call it Kenny's Choice, which he's probably just going to start playing some music to continue on the show. But just make sure you watch the JD Morning Show tomorrow between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. only on SOAR Radio. Get your tickets for the 2025 SOAR Award. That's the 2025 SOAR Awards. Is going to be here in Chicago. So go to the SOARradio.com Ticketmaster.com, or was it Ticklophacy? Ticklophacy? Ticklocity. That's a tongue twister.
New?
Maybe you need to go to. I've never heard of you. I'm gonna look that up. Ticklocity, and then you can find your tickets there. Hey, black people, don't wait till the last minute to get your tickets. Get them now, okay? Because you don't nobody wants you calling them at the last minute. Why can't I get no tickets? The tickets are on sale now, so you can get some good tickets. You get some good seats. Don't be complaining you in the balcony because you waited until February the 28th to buy your ticket.
Yeah.
You know, these are some major stars that are coming to this outlet. And Justin always has some major stars out there. So make sure it's the first time in Chicago, you know that John Hanna's people are going to be buying up a lot of tickets. So you better get your tickets quick and stop lollygagging and wasting your time. Get these tickets. Soar Awards 2025 here in Chicago. You can go to soarradio.com or that other thing Tenny said, Ticklophacy.
Okay,
We're going to find out the spelling of that and put it out there for you. So, hey, we're going to get out of here. This is Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo. We'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Soar Radio, thank you. Hey, Facebook, YouTube, we're going to do the same. We're going to get out here. Make sure you check out Doug's show on Saturday at 3 p.m. and come back and check out the JD Morning Show. And we'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. See you then. Bye-bye.